Hey guys, welcome to the Rival Garage YouTube channel. As you can see, I have our 1989 fake Celine Foxbody Mustang. Today I'm going to be doing an assembly and install of our Scotidi quick angle kit and lower control arms that we got from our friends at Drift American. We met those guys at SEMA last year, the best dudes on the planet. Lucky enough to partner with them, so I'm really excited to share these parts with you guys. And I love them. We've done one drift event with this kit and it just freaking rips. So I'm really excited to show you guys how to put it together and how easy it is to install it on the car. All right, I've got all the parts off the car. They're laid out so you can see what everything is. This kit comes with quick angle adapters with and Ackerman plates, which are these guys right here. Comes with control arm, tie rod, and steering stop. Now, if you're doing this kit on a Foxbody like I am, you'll need SN95 spindle or knuckle, whatever you prefer to call them. I got these from a junkyard, went down probably 120 bucks a piece, came with rotors, calipers, everything, which was great. Kit comes with some really good detailed instructions on how to install everything, and it also comes with a really good parts breakdown. Everything showed up individually packaged with part numbers on them and everything, so that was great. I probably should have did a video about that, but I didn't, so I'm sorry. Just know that the presentation of the parts that you get is incredible. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer and I'll show you how I installed these parts, how I assembled the parts on the steering knuckle itself. All right, so here is your steering knuckle. I probably should have taken the rotor off, but I didn't, so I apologize about that. It comes with a dust shield. You want to take a grinder and cut the dust shield off completely. You'll see that there are also two tabs right here. You need to grind those tabs off. This is where the factory tie rod goes through. You want to take a 5/8 drill bit and drill through that. I went to the hardware store and got 3 or 4 drill bits and some tap magic, and we just weren't really slow and was able to get through this fairly simple. Now, with the quick angle kit adapter, when you install this, you want the part number facing up like this. You want this hump right here facing towards the rotor, and you want these two for your Ackerman adjustment towards the front of the car. So towards your steering here. So that sets just like this. But before you install it, you put these Ackerman plates in. Now I've got them on my car set right in the center. Flip this over. I haven't even adjusted it or played with it at all. The center seems to be just fine for now. I'm sure when I get a little bit better at driving, I'll be able to make some changes and know how that's making those changes feel. Once you get those installed, you take this fine thread bolt and you'll drop it down right through here. Now you'll want to do that before you install this on your spindle itself. You'll take your tie rod. It'll come with this heim joint and a nut. You'll take that nut and thread it in. That's where mine is currently set. Yours might be a little bit different. You'll take these misalignment spacers, excuse me. Those set just like that. You'll install this on your steering rack before you put it on here, but you want to get that bolt through there before you install this on your spindle. You'll take this big bolt right here, goes up through here, goes up through that factory tie rod end, and you'll take a big nut and attach that there. This goes up through your lower control arm. You'll take one misalignment spacer, set it there. that will go up through this here. A misalignment spacer will drop on here. And that as a complete unit will go, excuse me, right through this, just like that. And then that, your lower control arm heim will be right here. Then you'll take a bolt and attach that there. This spacer goes here through your tie rod and hooks up just like that. So very, very simple. It was a little bit confusing for me at first, but once I understood what it was, it makes so much sense going back together. So now I'll move this out of the way and we can talk about this lower control arm. Now, lower control arm, these three heims come with hardware or with lock nuts and the heims. I'm currently running my front all the way in. This turned out to here, and this turned out to here. I couldn't tell you what those are turned out to. When I originally put this together, I ran each of these heims in all the way, and then I brought them out 5 turns, and that was my baseline settings. I believe I did the same thing here as well. Excuse me. But at this moment, right now, I'm running 6.5 degrees camber and about 6 degrees caster. And that I got that by taking this all the way in, bringing this out, and bringing this out to right to here for my camber setting. This I'm also able to adjust up on the coilover. And then this is your steering stop for here, which mounts under the caliper. And as you can see, it's bent because I've been using it. So now what I'll do is I'll set the camera up over here and I'll show you guys how easy it is to install it on the car. Okay, all my parts are laid out here. I'm gonna take this control arm. Whoa, whoa, she gone. And sorry about that. Install this control arm on the car. So you'll take bolt, 2 spacers, set this up here, get a bolt in, get a spacer on it, put the bolt through, get a spacer on here, maybe. And then you can see I've got this tubular K-member here. It has a spot for this nut to just set right in it. On your factory K-member, it comes out quite a bit, and you can take and cut a ton of material out of that K-member right here to get more angle this way out of your car, because your tire is absolutely going to hit right here on that factory K-member. Do that before you start putting anything else on. And then if you'd like, then after you've got the wheel on there, then you can go through and trim a little bit more. With this tube K-member, there's nothing for me to trim, so we can skip that step for this installation so far. Then I'm just gonna take and snug these up a little bit. So I'm also running an SN95 steering rack, and I've got new tie rod ends. I'd really like, inner tie rods. I'd really like to get the shackles, the double shear shackles that they're offering now. When I purchased this kit, those weren't available. So I think after this next event, or just in a little bit of time, I'll get that double shear, the double shear tie rods. Apparently you can get a bunch more angle out of it, which is awesome. All right, I ended up putting two bolts up through the top here to hold that. I took the long bolt with a misalignment spacer on the bottom, misalignment spacer up on top, run that through there. Take the caster and quick angle kit and set it right through there. So I've got this angle, I've got the quick angle kit already installed on what would be your lower ball joint. Now, you're gonna run that right up into there, put a nut on it, but not all the way, just tighten it up a little bit. Bring it back down, bring that one over, run this bolt up through here, maybe. Spin it up in a little bit. Now it's going up in pretty. Okay. Put a nut on it. All right, so then you'll take your tie rod, one spacer, both misalignment spacers, one misalignment spacer on the bottom, one misalignment spacer on the top, and then this big spacer right here, that will slide up on here. And then your tie rod slides right through there. Take your nut and put that on there. Take your caliper mount, set it up in here. Take your steering stop, set it up in here, and it goes half moon in like that. You'll take a bolt through your knuckle and into the housing. And do the same on the top. Okay. Now that everything is on, now that you got everything in, you can take and snug everything up. Okay, so like I said before, I'm running a tubular K-member, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm running SN95 steering rack, and an electric power steering pump, a few other things. I ordered some cheap coilovers, which I do not recommend doing. Just save up, get some good ones. I should have put Phil's suspension on here, but I didn't, and I regret it now. I should have just saved for another couple weeks and months or whatever and just got a good suspension set up. These are SN95 coilovers that I plated and installed the SN95 top hats. They seem to have a lot more, there's more product availability with that, so that's what I did up top. So I rolled my fenders, and I made some power or some brake line clamps here, and yeah, now I'll put my wheel on, and you'll be able to see just how much angle we're getting out of this kit. Now, there's a bit more in it. I need to go a little wider. I need a better offset on my excuse me, on my rim. I need this to come out just a little bit more. But you can see with as much caster as we're running, I had to trim my fender a little bit right here. I'd like to run just a little bit more caster. There's some more that we can add to it. I can put some caster plates on it and maybe get a little bit more. But for now, I'm gonna leave this where it's at. And you can see that's pretty close there. I've taken about 2 inches, started here and then took about 1 inch here. And then coming down, I probably took 2 inches out of that just to get the wheel forward enough to where I can start getting some self steer. Before I just wasn't. So I highly recommend modifying that and getting that high caster number. I think the first event I was at like 2 degrees caster and I was like fighting the steering wheel. So get that caster forward, get some good camber on it, and you know, you can see we're getting some really good angle out of that. I mean, look at that. That's freaking awesome. So we've got a little more that we can throw at it. It's not quite hitting on the back here. I don't know how much of that you can see, but you know, if I just make some more adjustments, I need to get the double shear tie rods that Scotty D sells, and I will get even more angle out of this thing with that and a better wheel and tire combo. So as you can see, this is a really good kit. I absolutely love it. For a first-time drifter and a guy that does, we do mostly Skyline stuff. I am so pleased with this kit, and I'm so pleased with how this car is coming along. So shout out to our friends at Drift American for giving me so much information, all the information I could ever need on this build, just for constantly answering my phone, constantly answering my emails, and just giving us all the tips and tricks that we need to make this car drift. So as we continue to develop this car, I'll continue to put videos up and continue to share with you guys as much product as we can that we're getting from our friends at Drift American. So anyways, that's it. Look at that freaking angle, boys. And get yourself a kit and turn your Fox into a drift car. Thanks, guys.